What's up, guys? I am feeling so good right now because I just reached 1100 elo on chess.com. I've been playing a lot of chess lately, as you will see here in a moment. And anyway, I just want to make this video to mention that and to show you guys the game that I just got done playing to reach 1100. It wasn't like a crazy game, it wasn't too much of a challenge really for me. I feel like I pretty much just dominated the whole game, but I made a mistake or two. But in the end, my opponent just wasn't great. But anyway, I wanted to show you the game anyway because it was nice. It was a nice game. So I'm not going to be playing a live game right now. I'm just going to go over that one game, and then I'm going to show you guys my stats on my profile page. So let's go ahead and go over to chess.com. As you can see over here on the right here, my rapid elo rating is at 1100 exactly. Even I mean, it's 1100 exactly. Now it's gonna look like my elo rating has gone down. It's gonna say, hey, over the past 90 days or whatever, your elo's gone down 71. That's only because if you look at this graph or this chart, this top section here where it's like up towards 1200, that's just when I started playing chess online here. And it kind of starts you out at 1200. So this was the period of just finding what my elo was after playing like 15 games. And then at this point, when I really started playing a lot of games back to back, like multiple games per day, all of a sudden it started dropping off. You know, I played like 30 games this day, and it just like it went down like 100 points. So once I really found where my elo was, you have this great like bottom area, this floor, I guess, at 940. That was when I was just playing so many games. I was just getting too overwhelmed because my opponents seemed to know what they were doing. I just didn't know at this point. I basically said I need to slow down, take my time with chess, study a little bit. If I want to be able to beat these opponents, I need to get better at tactics and everything. And at this point, I started playing more and just taking my time with it and slowly been climbing over. I mean, this was back in just like 3 weeks ago, right? 3 weeks ago, I just started climbing. So I've been on an upward trajectory this past week, and right now I'm at 1100. So, um, yeah. So I really feel, if I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I feel like I'm rated higher than this. I just got to get there. Like I feel like a lot of these opponents that I'm playing that are in the 1000 to 1100 range, I feel like they're just not like some of them are really good, right? And I'll lose, right? And sometimes I make a lot of mistakes. I still blunder a lot. I will lose my queen. As you saw in my last video, I will blunder knights. I will blunder queens. Like it's not like I'm good enough to not make those mistakes yet, but um I do feel like most of my opponents are not as good as me. So I do feel like I'm underrated right now. That's kind of the point I wanted to make. As you can see, I played 300 games now. Like I'm playing 10, 15 games a day. Like I'm just addicted to it. I'm addicted to chess so much, and probably not smart to be playing this many games and not studying a whole lot in between. As I study more openings, like I want to learn certain openings and whatnot. Um, get a few tricks up my sleeve, and I do feel like I'll be on a good path here to make my way up to. I feel like I'm gonna sit a while in the 13 to 1400 range. I don't know how I'm gonna break through to get to 1500, but this is all. I mean, who knows how long it's gonna take me to get there? But I feel like I'm at the very least. I feel like I'm 1200 right now, but I just got to get there. So let's go ahead and show you the most recent game that I played. Let's see, you can show this game right here that I won. So this was an interesting thing. This opponent that I played was at 1144, or they might have even been like 1140 in the when I started. Which all my other opponents prior to this have not even been over 1100. They've all been 1070, 1080, 1060, right? So it was kind of crazy that this opponent. Okay, don't look at this. You're seeing stuff you're not supposed to see. You're seeing the ending of the game. I want to show you guys the beginning of the game. All right, you guys know I won. Okay, well I want to show you how we got there. Okay, so Yeah, so when I saw this person come up, I was at my rating was like 1091 or something. I was like, oh, this person's rated at 1150. If I win this, I get to 1100, and I was like, this is great. So yeah, I was with the black pieces, and let's see what happens. So first move, e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, and then what did they do? Okay, they did go with the Italian. So one of the things that I do when they do this, I hate dealing with, this action. I hate it. I just want to avoid that as much as possible. One of the things that I've been doing is I've been just moving my knight out here to attack the bishop right away. Sometimes, a lot of times they move their bishop back, and I mean, taking might not be the best thing to do. I don't know. Maybe it is. I can't really tell you if it's good or bad to take a bishop if it moves back here, but they end up taking with this pawn. They have the rook open, so which is why it might not be so good. But I've just been doing this a lot because like get your bishop out of here. I don't know the best way to target the Italian. I mean, I know there's different options that you can do, but they decided to take the pawn, which I didn't realize that was the best thing to do in this situation for them. Probably because if you take back, they take, which I did take back. I did take the bishop. Says it was a great move. Okay. And then take. I moved the queen out. Okay, so I did think about this move. I thought about making this move. Maybe I should have. I don't know why I didn't, to be honest with you. I wanted to pin their king is what I think I wanted to do. Or pin the pawn to the king. They moved their queen there to f3, and then I wanted to make this move, right? So now they can't take, and then they moved their knight, and then I took. So that was kind of my plan with moving the queen here, and it worked out, kind of the way I was hoping. Wasn't really sure what was going to happen with this queen here. Move the queen back, move this pawn up. I wanted just a pawn to support this pawn. Then I can move my knight here, not block the pawn in. Had sort of ideas of castling queenside. So, I do have the arrows turned on, by the way, to show the best move here in the review. That's just kind of something that I do when I use the review tab. I will switch back and forth between the analysis and the review tab when I go over this stuff. So I want to bring my bishop out just so I could castle. Push the pawn forward, which I thought was interesting because, I mean, if I wanted to take that pawn right away, I guess never mind. Okay, so when they moved this pawn forward, I thought about putting them in check, and then if they move the king, right, take the pawn because there's nothing defending it. But, one of the things that I overlooked was them just moving this pawn forward, and that would defend it. So I did not do that. Instead, I castled because, I mean, now my rook is here, so I can take the pawn. With the rook, if they don't defend it, which they did not defend the pawn, so I took it, which, why not? Then they moved the bishop here, and this, guys, is where my brain maybe thought it was smarter than what I really was. Okay, my brain, yeah, was not great. So I had this idea of, what if I just let them take my rook? Okay. Because then I can move the queen here, put him in check, and I can get the bishop, and then I don't know, like this is open, right? This pawn, let me turn, okay, maybe the arrows are now covering up the pawn, but there's a pawn here, right? So I thought I want to get my queen to like maybe go here and take the pawn right there, so then I could take their rook, right? I felt like it was kind of unstoppable. If I let them take the rook, I can move here, it's check, right? But then I realized if they take the rook and I put him in check, and I want to go here, the bishop's still covering that square, right? So I had the brilliant idea of moving my rook here. So when he takes, this is what happened in the game, I take it back, that's check, and I thought, then I can go here. What I totally ignored, once again, was this pawn just moving up to block. Obviously the best move. And then I didn't realize until after I moved my rook here, how bad of an idea this was. I didn't realize until I moved the rook that now the queen can actually see this. So I thought I was going to get a bishop and a rook out of that. No. No, my brilliant idea. I will never try this again ever in my life in chess. This is probably the only bad move that I really made this game. That was like super bad, right? Obviously, the best thing to do is just to move the rook somewhere back out of the way. But I thought I would try to be creative, and I learned my lesson. So then, but this did allow me to move my queen here. Okay, so now bishop here targets the knight. They castled, which apparently that was a blunder by my opponent. So my opponent was... Oh, apparently moving the knight there was the best thing to do. Yeah, I guess the knight targets this as well as the bishop could target that. So either way, one of these two moves, that knight is currently pinned to the king. So, and the only thing defending it is the queen. And so that knight is basically gone. But then they move the rook here to support it because obviously arrow, take. If I try to take back with the queen, I lose my queen. So, but then I move the knight there and move the knight. So now this knight is free for the taking. I wasn't really sure what this move was. I feel like my opponent was not making good moves because I don't think that really accomplishes anything. But maybe that's like the only move they had. Perhaps. Yeah, that just might be one of the only few moves they had. See, the analysis is saying to push this pawn forward, but if they push the pawn forward, don't I just take like this? And then, it's attacking, but then I just... move the knight somewhere. I don't know where. Here. I mean, I know there's like a fork here, kind of, but if they take, then I can't really do anything about that. But anyway, that's not what happened. All right, so what did end up happening in the game was they defended. I moved my knight out here to attack that knight. They moved their queen back, and then I took this pawn here because now I could take the rook, right? Well, obviously they're not going to let that happen, so they move the knight out. This game actually ends pretty quickly here. I took their knight with my bishop. Their rook took it. I took their rook. I thought that was a fair thing to do. A good trade. What did I get out of that? I mean, I took their knight and their rook, and I lost a bishop. And now I'm attacking the queen. Queen still needs to defend the rook here. So probably not the best move. So what... I can't remember exactly what my next move is. We'll see in a moment. So... Oh, yeah. Don't I have like a fork here? No, I moved it back. Right, I moved it back because I was thinking discovered check. Once I move here, I can take the queen, right? Of course, my opponent is not just going to let their queen sit there. Or not just going to let that happen. Well, they moved their king out of the way, which I guess you can do. Honestly, I don't know what the best move was. Maybe moving the queen here. What is the best move? Oh yeah, rook attacking my queen. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, my opponent was not playing that great in this game, so I kind of got away with doing some of these weird little tricks, which is totally fine. So then, of course, a fork here. For the highest rated player that I've played over the past, month at 1150, this guy did not really seem to be rated at 1150. I'm just gonna say that did not feel like that much of a challenge. Then I get a rook. Queen takes, bring my rook over, targeting the knight. They move the knight. what did I do here? I took the knight with my bishop because I figured once my queen was here, now this rook and this queen are both targeting that square. So if they leave their queen there for some reason, which I don't know why they would leave their queen there, then obviously this is a fork of their king and their queen. But it's not what happened, obviously, because they're going to move their queen. They took the pawn down here. And then I saw this. I actually took a moment here. I mean, I didn't take too long to find this, but I thought, okay, well, if I go like check here, let me move the pieces. This is now like if I go check, check, he's just gonna move. He's gonna move here, right? So I thought, man, now what? I guess maybe there's this. King has to move here. I mean, like what? I mean, I don't know. I'm sure there was something here, right? I'm sure I would have been fine. I mean, I'm winning here in this position anyway, so it's not like I need to worry about anything. But I was proud of myself for taking a moment and seeing probably the fastest checkmate, maybe? I don't know. With check. Yeah, the king only had one spot to go, right? Oh no, I guess the queen could have came back here. I was like, why is this not forced? But that makes sense. That does make sense. I guess, yeah, my opponent didn't see that. My opponent didn't even think about bringing the queen back. I thought, okay, it's probably smarter to bring my queen right here because, I mean, you guys can probably see the checkmate pattern already. I'm just talking forever. King here, check. King there, checkmate. Right. I saw that all before I moved my queen from here. I mean, it's not that hard to see, but I think that I definitely overlooked the idea that you could have blocked with the queen on any of these moves. Although honestly, okay, if they did block with the queen here. What if I just went like this? That is the best move because, king moves, yeah, here, but then I just take, right? King moves here and I just take. I mean, like, yeah, like there's like he's done. I just want to see what other options were here. Yeah, okay. So, probably the best thing for him to do, well, no, this wouldn't have been best either. Cause then I move here, has to block, and I move here. That's checkmate. So yeah, never mind. Okay, I just wanted to explore that ending. I haven't done that yet. So yeah, I saw that checkmate pattern right there at first. Okay, I guess there was multiple ways to go there, but I mean, this was I mean, not really that interesting of a game. I definitely think that I'm learning, like, oh, if I decide to go here, then they can just take. So I should learn what to do after this. If I'm going to play this, which it's looking like this is an inaccuracy. So I learned this move from trying to learn how to defend against the fried liver. Like if I get myself actually fried livered. As you guys saw, there was a video on my channel where I got fried livered. I took a moment to try to figure out how can I just avoid all of this stuff over here. Like what's the best way to do that? Which I still don't really know exactly the best way to go about defending against this. But this is definitely a takeaway for me from this game. Is like if you get here, then what do you do? Yeah, this doesn't work. This whole check thing doesn't work because they can just defend and they get. I mean, if the queen was maybe in this position or this position, or not this position, but if the queen was here, or out somewhere, I don't know, on the board somewhere else, then I could have maybe done this. But this was this pawn does two things. here. So that was a takeaway from the game. My opponent should not have castled there. They probably just wanted to get their rook involved in the game and move their king to the corner. I mean, I don't blame them, but it was a bad move. Probably just because of the fact that this knight is pinned after one of these two moves. Otherwise, that's probably not a blunder. But yeah, you just got to watch out when you castle, and I've done this so many times. You got to watch out when you castle where your king's going to be, you know, and if that pins anything, or where your rook is going to be. I've had it to where I castled, and I castled right into a bishop that I just wasn't smart, you know? So you just got to pay attention to where your pieces are going to be. Takeaway from this game, not much really. Just kind of got away with some stuff because my opponent didn't make the best moves, but it was interesting. It was fun. So that is my 1100 elo game. Now, I'm probably not going to stay at 1100. I'm probably going to dip down back towards 1070, 1060, 1050 even. But yeah, that was this game. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Take care.